So we are showing at the Art Gallery of Greater Victoria in our very historic Massey gallery the works by two artists who are part of the art rental and sales program. Irma Soltonovich, who is an abstract expressionist artist, and Yuen, who has done a body of work in encaustic. So we're very excited to have them come together to produce the show, which is called Wax Poetic. Yuen has interpreted her work in a very literal way, of course, with the use of wax as a medium. And Irma has interpreted it very metaphorically, more symbolically. I feel I am the person who's actually hung the show. My name is Micah Marsh. And even though when the work came in and I started hanging, it was a little daunting, but at the same time, a very organic process. And when everything was hung, what I found was that there's a lovely balance between the two styles. It's almost the yin-yang of two genres. So Yuen's work is very lyrical. It has a very Zen aesthetic to it. And Irma's work is very dramatic. Her brushstrokes are very bold and broad, and her palette is also very, very strong. She tends to use darker colors with shocks of light color. So together, I think that it has been a wonderful display of both their styles and a wonderful marriage of the two.
All of the paintings here were done since probably early October, and they were all done for this show, and they were all using the idea of poetic. And so I used poems and words from poems and words from songs to sort of keep me focused so that I had one theme. And sometimes when I stray or get feeling lost or stuck in a painting, I'll go back to the mood or the poetry mood. So that just keeps me somewhat focused. Though the color palette's a little different and it changes, the idea of the poetry to me has kept it together. Size, the long narrow, the small long narrow ones and the big long narrow ones is a whole new format for me, and I quite love it. And it's very challenging to paint long and narrow, but I'm liking it a lot. And the big ones are, of course, what I love to do. But forcing myself to do little ones makes me, I don't know, it sort of contributes to how I do big ones. Somehow they work back and forth, and I make myself change sizes purposely, and I make myself change color palettes purposely. Some of the little ones were named after Japanese words for poems, different kinds of poems, and then I just went and thought about words that are from poetry. and so that's how I did it, just poetry words. So that was just to kind of keep me going on the track. And the big paintings, a lot of them are named from songs. Some of them are from Sting songs. And I was at the Sting concert, so I came back from there and started painting Sting things. Right? So there's Fields of Gold, for instance, is a Sting song, and it's apparently legal to use other song titles for poems, so I'm not going to use anybody's copyright.
I was attracted to encaustic because of the texture, and there are many ways of working with them. For example, with these three, they are collage encaustic, so they're built with layers and layers of wax, pigmented wax, and also with the collage image, they're usually basically, I cut shapes out of paper without any drawing, and they're not premeditated, but when I'm cutting, shapes form, and I build a composition around them. So with the collage, I usually prefer to have a sort of a dreamy, layered looks to them, and so there are layers of medium that offers a translucent quality. And so they're very different from the encaustic paintings, which are very vivid. They're very strong in colors, and also I do a lot of carving into them, and so that they are textural, not only because of the waxy feel, but also because of the carving. And they're also, I also use the technique of transferring photocopied image onto the hot wax too, and that is quite laborious, but the effect is also very interesting, and that you can see in the car paintings, the ones with the old antique cars. So yeah, I love it because it's still full of surprises for me, because every time when I'm working with them, there are things that are unexpected that happens, and I love that. I love a surprise. Yes, so this is my latest painting. It's not part of the Wax Poetic, but it is featured here. And the title is called Heritage, and that's because I love recycling old canvases. And it's basically, when you recycle something, there are layers of history underneath the painting. And actually, I think there's actually one or two of them that's actually been recycled twice, and so there's a really rich texture that is that you can actually peek through from the top layer. And I always found decayed boats, decayed buildings really fascinating because you can see sort of the history that has happened, that the building has gone through. And so with that in mind, I approach the paintings with multi-layerings and also texturing. Let's see here. There are a lot of details that show through from the old paintings if you look through the glaze, because it's a marriage of glaze and impasto painting techniques. So yeah,